Welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And Gabe and I are here for another rendition, another episode, another version of Cricket Convos.
Oh, man, it was on time. I love it.
Was it? Okay, good. I can never tell. On my side, it's always behind, but you always have like the inside information there on the timing. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, we are going to be talking about why does the ICC not want the best teams to win a tournament? We're going to talk about what is wrong with the ICC, maybe even try to predict what they'd rather be doing besides their jobs, cricket boarding the Council of International Cricket. Honestly, do they play the ponies or something? Like, what is going on here? I have no idea. We are in the middle. We are in the middle.
Collusion.
The World Cup happened in Australia, and it's exciting time. The time itself when the games are, the matches are, is unfortunate for us, but it's still an exciting time. It's great to wake up and watch the highlights, see, what happened, what kind of nonsense happened. But our discussion today is just going to be about what is wrong with the ICC and their tournaments, okay?
Right.
And we're also going to talk about the worst system of all time, Duckworth Lewis, okay?
Ooh.
We're going to talk about that a little bit. But the Duckworth Lewis method, as far as I know, it's not going anywhere because, unfortunately, that is the most intelligent, genius plan for rain that's ever been existed, ever come about. I think Einstein came up with it. And why would you ever mess with perfection, even though it screwed us over time and time again? And we have a situation here where Duckworth Lewis screwed over a team. The ICC and their horrible system has screwed over a team. And this is all about how you are not going to have potentially the best teams in the Final Four tournament. Just saying. And the ICC could care less about it. Okay? They're already tearing up my application to join their cricket board because my IQ test was too high, apparently. Okay? I'm able to look at my phone and watch TV at the same time. That was just too much of impressive stuff. You are overqualified. You're overqualified. You are not going to be allowed. And plus, you talk trash about us. So, Gabe, I'm going to take us on this ride here. I want to know from you, because I have my thoughts about Duckworth Lewis. You know I hate it. I know you don't like it either. Right. I want to know two things from you. First of all,
gotcha.
Do you think it's the best system we have moving forward? It just is what it is, and we just got to deal with it. Right. Second of all, can you think of any better idea to handle rainouts?
Well, see, the first thing is really simple. The first question is really simple. Actually, both are really simple because I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
For the ICC.
Bro, I'm not qualified for the ICC either, apparently, because those guys just can't get it done. The funniest thing, Nick, is because I'm hearing about it from my peoples here in Vegas. I got the news. My man texted me like, "Oh, DLS just made us some money." Like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, man. They limited to what was it, like 8 overs, 10 overs, or whatever it was." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" So let me explain. My homeboy Anthony Tony Sell, he works at the books out here, and we went to college together at UNLV. He was a stats major. That's what he does. He's a bookie. He works at the casino. A legal bookie, people. All right, legal. Works in the casino, not in the back of the bodega or whatever with the little visor on and stuff like that. It's legal. I don't want the federales to come after him. But anyway,
absolutely not.
Let's just say, let's pray to God, Nick, that Duckworth Lewis only stays in cricket because the casinos love it. They're getting paid, cousin. They're getting paid. They're like, money, 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 money. Because what happens? Normally people bet, right? Normally people usually bet the favorites, right? The casinos got to set the line and make it tempting enough to bet the underdogs. But if you've got this tool now to be able to knock out the better team, dude, it's ugly. It's ugly, bro. And it's to me, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. And we've already, when we got introduced to Duckworth Lewis, listen, cricket does things a lot better than baseball. Okay, we're in the World Series right now. Both our teams are knocked out. You know, still we know there's flaws in baseball. All the foul balls moves a little bit slowly. But one thing baseball gets right is to get a proper result. Are you kidding me?
What's the result, Gabe? I don't know what a result is. Does it even matter?
You can't make it up, bro. You absolutely can't make it up. Listen, if there's rain in the forecast, then you go ahead and schedule your matches far enough apart where you have a makeup day. They do it in baseball. They have a rain day so they can have a makeup day to make sure, there might be rain in the forecast. God forbid. And if there's not, then you don't need the makeup days. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. When baseball can outthink you, you're in trouble. Because baseball is a prehistoric sport. Okay, when those guys can outthink you, ICC, cricket's in bad hands, Nick. It's in bad hands, and I shudder to think that the most powerful people in cricket can't come up with a better system than just saying, well, let's go ahead and limit the overs. Like, we didn't just see Virat Kohli pull off a miracle the other day. What, that doesn't exist? That doesn't exist? I mean, dude, it's just ridiculous. You're saying basically that you're gonna predict what happens per over, and that's impossible because we've seen guys get absolutely demolished, Nick, in the depth, right? We've seen Virat Kohli. What did he put up the other day in the depth? It was between him and which one? Him and Sky.
Right now, because that's one of my points.
It's driving me crazy.
England has gotten absolutely hosed in this World Cup. Absolutely hosed. They got screwed on. I'm going to get to the abandoned thing in just a second because that makes zero sense. But Duckworth Lewis, they're playing Ireland, okay? They bowled out Ireland before the 20th over was done. There was 4 balls left to go. They bowled them out. So Ireland got their entire innings, and they scored a 157? I'm sorry, that's an impossible score, right? England, before Duckworth Lewis, hold on, you win. What? Why? Because they have brighter jerseys. I have no idea. They were 52 for 33. 50, you're right. That's an impossible score. No one's ever going to score that. Mathematically, are you kidding me? Mathematically, they only lost 5 wickets going into the death. Ireland lost all their wickets. So you're just going to say because Ireland lost 5 wickets late, you're going to lose 5 wickets late? Are you kidding me? India against Pakistan, you're talking about the miracle match. They needed 54 off 24. Yeah. Almost 10 less balls, and they were able to do that. Yeah, it doesn't happen every single time, but did they get a chance to play the match for crying out loud? I don't understand Duckworth Lewis. I understand before the match starts, they say, listen, Gabe, you get 15 overs. Nick, you get 15 overs. Score as much as you can. Okay, I have no problem with that. Let's do it. And to your point, were there no weather forecast whatsoever? If this is the only system you have, and if it's a 1% rain chance, you are on call. If there's anything higher than a 20% rain chance, you're each getting 15 overs. That's all you're doing. We can see the high pressure and the barometer, and it's all going to say it's going to be over our stadium that doesn't have a roof. Because why we need roofs in cricket, for crying out loud? You ever heard of England before? Give me a break. Why did Ireland get their complete full slate? And because they scored so low or they got so many wickets, England got screwed. I don't care what you're going to say. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Terrible. And here's the thing, Nick. You know, again, for as great as cricket is, and we've loved cricket, we've seen some of the flaws. And some of the flaws, come normally from up above, right? The cricket boards, the rules or laws that are put into place. One of the things we absolutely hate, which at this point, I'm still waiting for umpire's call to be a thing of the past, right? Still waiting, right? So many announcers, so many players, so everybody and their mother knows umpires' rules got to go. But they have all the power, so they go ahead and they're just going to wait. For what? I don't know. Here's what it is. It lends, Nick, itself to there being some type of collusion, some type of manipulation. And what I mean by that is, listen, this isn't WWE, bro. All right, this or WWF, whatever. For the uninitiated, WWE used to be WWF. All right, but it's not entertainment. It's not sports. It's an actual sport. It's a competitive sport. There's a reason you can't bet on WWE in the casinos. Why? Because it's predetermined. It's an act. Are you telling us cricket is an act now? If that's what you're telling us, then go ahead, predetermine the outcomes of the match. But if that's not the case, fix it. Fix it. You got to be kidding me, bro. Listen, the worst thing they could do, and I want to jump onto this, the abandoned match, so let's just both split a point. How does that not lend itself to advantage a team to say, well, let's just split this point and knock the other team out? How's that competitive? How's that competitive? You know what? I'm going to take a week off. I'm going to get a sub and put my fourth graders with a sub. And I will help you, ICC, because you can't figure it out. Or maybe you have. Maybe, since it is a sport that's bet, and I'm going to say it. Maybe they're doing exactly what they want to do. I know who's going to get in. I know who's the heavy favorite. I know who's not the heavy favorite. Let me bet against. I'm just saying, because now you just, from my perspective, and I'm getting calls here in Vegas, like, wow, England was, to your point, one of the favorites, Nick, to get to the final. What if I had bet against them not to go to the final? What if I had a part to influence that decision? You know what I mean, dude? Like it's absolutely ridiculous to me. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I turn the abandoned match over to you, Nick, is we saw if teams abandon matches, then there should be no points awarded. Okay, there should be 0 points awarded. All right, you chose not to play for whatever reason, the rain or whatever, and I get it. They don't have the right schedule because they not bright enough. Maybe they don't have weathermen out there in Australia. Maybe the ICC should hire some weathermen and say, wait, there's going to be weather in the forecast. Historically, there's weather this time of year in the forecast. So maybe we should spread out the days. Maybe we should add days between the matches. They call them rain days, contingency days. Gosh, do we got to do everything for you? Matter of fact, let me choose so you can swallow, ICC. That's what has to happen. Gosh, feed them like baby birds.
I get what everyone's going to say. Oh, you got different cricketing boards and you got scheduling conflicts and there's too many matches. We've been saying for years, or anyways, too many matches, too many leagues, too many domestics, all that kind of stuff. You're going to say, we only have these teams for so many days, so we got to take advantage of it. You see those 3 match days or whatever. I'm sorry. Is this your very first tournament you've ever created before? Is this something that happens every 3 weeks, like a golf tournament? No, it happens every 2, 3, sometimes COVID 4 years, for crying out loud. You have plenty of time to plan this, and it's not your first rodeo. Come up with something better. The Ireland-England match. I mean, honestly, and I am an England fan, if I'm an England player, I am absolutely pissed at how we got hosed right there. Because basically what you're telling me is because Ireland scored 59 with 1 wicket loss in their power play, and England scored 37 with 3 wickets lost, they basically just got screwed right there. Did you know that Ireland only ended up scoring like 40 runs in like the last 6 overs because of the dominant bowling in the second half of that match, the second half of those overs? You're telling me England was going to score less than, well, Ireland only scored this much. They were at 127 at the same point. So they win by 5 runs. What? Are you kidding me? If you're going to do Duckworth Lewis, why don't you just say, where was Ireland at 14.3? And this is where England's at. Who had the higher score? I at least would have accepted that. That at least makes some sense. You had the same number of balls, but you're telling me they won by 5 runs. How do you figure that out? What kind of arithmetic are you using? Because as far as I know, it's not shared with us. And if it is, I need to have an engineering degree just to understand it, or statistics or something. It makes 0 sense. How? And this is my one thing, Gabe, and this is where I don't think it'll work, but at least I'm thinking of something on the spot. What if you said, like in baseball, okay? Because like to your point, any American league in the playoff, in a tournament, they are, by hook or by crook, they're going to get an actual result. Because people will light the entire country on fire if they don't. They're going to get a result. They put in contingency days. They put in this. They have postpones. What was the worst that could happen if you try to at least finish it that day and postpone it for a few hours, get a window that opens up where you can play? Because the argument's going to be this, Gabe. Oh, no, Nick, you can't do that because now the bowler's been rested up or the bowler's arm is now gel. No, it's not. They play back-to-back games all the time, but they're going to get rested up. It's all about the fatigue. This is not test cricket. This is T20 for crying out loud, okay? I don't understand why we would rather let an arithmetic formula that makes 0 sense decide the decision as opposed to, okay, some of your later bowlers are going to get more rest. sorry, do you want to lose the game right now? Or do you want to have a chance to win it? We'll have a chance to win it, right? I mean, I don't understand what the problem is right here. But the way it was done, and again, I'm not a weatherman. I didn't look up the air pressure. I didn't look up all that stuff. Unless this was just an absolute shock monsoon that nobody saw coming even a few hours in advance. Can't you look at the weather thing a few hours? Like, guys, we're going to have problems right here. We're going to have to delay it. Because not just that, let's get to the abandoned thing, because to me, this is even more egregious. I had to ask Ozjob because I just did not believe it. Because we've seen it several times. I'll count it up in a second. Several matches abandoned due to rain. And I had to ask Ozjob, when it says abandoned due to rain, does that mean they just don't ever play the game again, the tournament? And he said, yep. How does that make sense to anybody on this planet that has a brain between their ears? That you just don't have to play. And again, here's where England gets screwed again. And you're going to tell me, oh, it just happens. Are you kidding me? Australia, England was a huge match. Not only were we excited to watch it, excited to cover it, excited to see what happens, but it had serious implications. Both teams were 1-1. This basically could have eliminated one of those two big teams going in to the Final Four. Australia already lost a heartbreaker to New Zealand, right? So they decide we couldn't get any match going. It's just abandoned. We're just not going to play it. So Australia, you are hosting right now. We're going to gift you. We're going to gift you this opportunity where it's not even a tie. It's just a no contest. You don't have to play your toughest opponent probably in your bracket outside of New Zealand. And England, you don't have to play Australia either. But Australia's backs were against the walls. You still have New Zealand to play. And Australia's got the scrubs left to play. So I'm telling you right now, if England is not in the Final Four, if they're not in the Final Four, they have an extreme argument, a possible lawsuit, if there's any way you can drudge it up, which isn't going to go anywhere. A protest, you got to do something because this is egregious, okay? This is absolute. How do you have nothing planned? You don't have 1 or 2 makeup days because look at this, Gabe. It doesn't make sense even on a money level because on a money level, you don't broadcast that match. All those advertisements you had lined up for however else you're broadcasting it, you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that whatsoever. It doesn't even make sense on a financial standpoint where you're going to tell your advertisers next time, we may not play your commercial, but please come back to us next time and hope that you win the lottery and we play your commercial. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, absolutely ridiculous. They abandon matches. How is a sport that's been around and everyone says cricket is baseball but with brains? Is that brains right there to just not play the match at all in a World Cup tournament?
Listen, you baseball hit the nail on the head.
They play the games, but we have no brains. It's not a baseball or cricket thing. I'm not trying to make it into a war. But fans, you got to get behind us on this. We cannot allow this garbage to continue to happen. If cricket is a gentleman's game, is a smart man's game, how is that smart whatsoever to anybody else?
Listen, I here's the biggest issue. I don't think the fans, maybe it's because we're Americans and we're used to getting results, and that's real. But I don't think that the fans are respected because most fans will tell you, they hate Duckworth Lewis. Everybody I know is like, yo, that's a stupid rule. All right, it's terrible. Most fans absolutely, forget about fans. Ex-players, commentators have absolutely destroyed umpire's call. But the ICC, the cricket board, they don't care. They don't care. So if it were me as a fan, and listen, it's time to make things happen. Whether you're boycotting games, whether you're boycotting products, there's got to be something to be done. Because if this is a game you're passionate about and you care about, then they're accountable to you. Because if you don't watch the sport, then guess what? Advertisers aren't paying for those advertising spots. That's revenue out of their pockets. If you don't show up in the stands, that's revenue showing up in their pockets. If you don't show up, you don't buy the apparel. You don't buy the jerseys, the hats, whatever. That's revenue out of their pockets. And sometimes it takes a fan base to say, what is going on? You're here to please us. All right. This is entertainment for us. All right. And if it's a sport and we're telling you something's wrong with it, you need to fix it. And I just don't think, maybe cricket fans are just not vocal enough, Nick. Although I have heard, again, from Ian Bishop to other guys, for instance, absolutely destroy. They absolutely hate the umpire's call, because they've seen it so many times screw players and mess up games, right? Change the trajectory of a game. But for some reason, bro, it's like, honestly, I'm going to call them, forget about the Sinister Six, bro. They're like Cosa Nostra over there. That's what the ICC is, bro. They're straight gangsters. They do what they want to do. The Untouchables, cousin. Like, bro, eat it and like it, fans. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Do the Untouchables have some brains? Weren't they intelligent? I would say they were.
They're still getting paid.
15 matches, Gabe. 15 matches once the top 12 was set. The 15 matches, 4 of them were abandoned or had no result. Are you kidding me? That's higher than that's over a 20% clip. If you're an advertiser, if you're a fan with tickets, you only have less than an 80% chance of actually watching the game or getting your advertisement on there. Oh, and the refund, for what you paid. We'll get it to you eventually. We'll get it to you eventually. No, you won't. Stop it.
Read the fine print, cousin.
Exactly.
They're the cricket La Cosa Nostra. They're like,
you reserve the right to play your advertisement or not, but you have to pay us.
We'll play the match if we feel like it. And you still pay, cousin. You pay just for the right to be in our presence. I want to be them. I want to be them. Let me do whatever I want. I can walk around with impunity between the raindrops, right? Like I must be blessed. Those guys were born in the royalty, bro. Born basically in the royalty, because these positions are probably some of the most powerful in all of sports, because they can say, and they're sitting back right now smoking their cigars, eating their caviar on crackers with a little grapefruit pun, saying, how many more matches you guys think we should abandon? Smoking their cigars. Maybe we'll get in 4 or 5. I don't know. I think Gabe's going to stay up for that India match. India and South Africa. Maybe we'll get it in. Oh, the lighting may not be good. Maybe we'll have to abandon the match. Smoking under cigar.
Seems foul.
You know what I mean? Like,
someone farted in the stands. We don't like the smell right now.
Get out of here, bro.
We don't have enough chicken cooked up. Give me a break. I don't know what's going on here. And you can sit there and say, Nick, Gabe, calm down. Like, this is one World Cup. Well, yeah, it's not going so well. They don't control the weather. They're really, really good. Are you kidding me? What happened at WTC? They decided in their infinite wisdom to not only have it be a series, but it's just one match. In their infinite wisdom, in a place like England where it rains every other day, maybe several days in a row, they decided in their infinite wisdom, we will grant you a 6th day as a makeup. And I'm reading on ESPN Quick Info how they're praising the ICC. Luckily, they had the 4. No! Luckily, New Zealand closed the door on India in just enough time on the 6th day, because the first 2 days completely washed out. Why? I don't understand. We will allow you 1 extra day. Why not allow as many days as possible until you get 5 playing days? 5 days where you have at least 1 overplayed. You get 5, and then we get the result. New Zealand saved their butts right there by scoring so high and getting that WTC final. But Nick, okay, so that's just 2. Okay,
it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense.
First of all, you cricket historians, you tell me right now how many World Cups have been screwed over. Second of all, let me give you a 1992. Okay, let me give you a 1992 where, what was it, England or South Africa got screwed because of the TV money, because of the TV time. We cannot extend it. So wait, no, you're the winner. No, ICC, that was too smart. You got to close your eyes and do eeny, meeny, miny, mo to decide who the winner is. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, Peggy, what's your favorite color, blue or green? Are you kidding me right now? Don't tell me that this is the first time it's happened. It's time. And those are 3 I can think of. I've only been watching cricket for a few years. When, at what point, and this comes back to the title, this comes back to my main point. The ICC does not care about having the best teams play each other. The ICC does not even care about the tournament. I honestly don't even know. They must plan vacations during these tournaments. Like, well, I got to go on the yacht. Like, I don't understand. They don't care about the best cricket being played. They care about having the stupidest format. And by hook or by crook, We are not going to change. It reminds me of those fictional actors, those actors who playing those fictional characters in Bodyline, who were heading up the Australian cricket board, who were just so asininely stupid. I guess they exist in real life right now. And, you know, if you're a cricket fan and you like the way the ICC is being run, then good on you. That's awesome. Okay, but I expect a little more in a sport that I give up time, money, passion, and all that other stuff. It's not that hard. This is not brain surgery nonsense.
Nick, let me ask you a question. Let me expound, okay, the conversation a little bit more. Whether people want to admit it or not, and we've been telling you guys this for a while, and CFA Nation already knows. You know, cricket they're trying to expand, you know what I mean, its market, right? They want that American market because they know, first and foremost, Americans are consumers, bro. We waste more money than anybody. That's just what we do. We are consumers, all right? And on top of that, they know that it's an untapped revenue stream. They're trying to get cricket into the Olympics, right? You think that's going to play in the Olympics? Duckworth Lewis is going to play in the Olympics? Abandoned Matches is going to play in the Olympics? You think that's going to play here? Seriously? Again, my dude called me and he was like, bro, I didn't even know this was possible. It's a gold mine. Now look, the sports books love it because this is money for them, guaranteed. And possibly that's what because we know gambling and cricket go hand in hand. So maybe that's why that rule is put in place. Yeah, no conspiracy theories. We know it's happened many a times. No, maybe we're the ones that are dumb, Nick, and they actually are sitting back in the room nefariously just laughing. Our plan came to fruition. Bro,
Gabe, I'm going to cut you off real quick. Can you imagine, I mean, honestly, we're going to put our American hats on right now. Can you imagine if a decision was made in an NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, MLS for crying out loud, WNBA, any of those sports, can you imagine, in golf, could you imagine if a playoff tournament match, game, series was decided on math and not the game? Could you imagine
a participation
people
badge,
would be
basically?
fired, heads would be rolled, lawsuits would be filed? Could you imagine if your Yankees and my Padres are in the World Series and there's rain coming and they say, Padres, you had more base runners in the second inning than the Yankees did, so you win this first game, and then the Padres win in 7? Could you just even fathom?
No.
You would literally have writing, would you not?
Absolutely. There was a case where a guy sued a casino, and the casino in turn had to like legit take it seriously because there was a game. I can't remember the exact circumstances of it. It had ended controversially. Something about it was an NFL game. Was it the tuck rule or something like that? Something that was blatantly called. Yep. And the guy went back and actually was able to get his money. Because I'm like, no. That is absolutely cheating. There's been other scandals in the NBA, for instance, right? Where games were fixed or whatever. Tim Donahue, people went to jail, Nick, to jail. Listen, bottom line is sports, there's supposed to be integrity in it. At least here in this country, sports have to have integrity, all right? And there are people that, listen, we get the feds involved, cousin. But maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe the problem is the ICC has no oversight. Maybe there is no feds over there in Australia. Interpol, are you out there? Don't you police everything? Don't you police everything internationally? Because it's an international crime, right? Match fixing is a crime. It's organized crime. So bottom line is, bro, I don't understand how they allow, this is literally the setup to allow a few people who are in the decision of saying this game's going to be called, this game's not going to be called. This is how many overs this team is going to get. This is Duckworth Lewis. A few people, the ability to control these matches. And that is dangerous, Nick. Because if I know who that guy is, the guy that makes the decision, because his math, he's got an abacus in the back like this. Hold on. Let me get my marker. He's typing stuff up. I say they get 7 overs. If it's that deal, bro, all it takes is a phone call. Hey, check this bank account. This is how much is in there. They only get 4 overs. It's that simple.
No, it's super simple. And I'm telling you, I mean, Gabe's having a field day with this because he is usually the conspiracy theorist, and I'm always trying to talk him off the ledge, always trying to bring some reality to it. But I am fully all ears right now. Listen to any conspiracy he has on this, because none of it would surprise me, because it makes that little sense. And maybe other people covering cricket are, and we're small fries. Maybe other people covering cricket are talking about this. If they are, please send me the links to those videos, because I got to see if I'm not the only one. But when that Ireland-England match, and yes, I'm an England fan, so you better believe I'm a little, what's the word, partial to it. But when Ireland got their full slate of overs and England, we're going to stop it right now and you lose. Are you kidding me right now? It didn't fly in the first season of The Office in the basketball game where Michael stopped it from the foul and said we win because we had more points. If it doesn't count in a fictional TV show, how do we allow it? It's got to get better. Or Nick, you can no longer use the tagline that cricket is smarter than baseball, because they finish games. They finish games and get results. Match abandoned. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to just let you know about conspiracy theories. And for the uninitiated, all right, England was plus 400. You got to lay 400 clams, $400 to get 100. That's how big of an underdog Ireland was. And they come out and win through nefarious. No wonder the casinos of it. I'm going to call it through a nefarious, absolutely nefarious rule and decision. Guys, if you know that guy, please hit me up on Twitter. If you know the guy that people, let me know. Let me know, because I can easily make some money.
But that's one sport book. And yes, Las Vegas is the betting capital of the world, probably, right? That's one sports book that we know of in America, a country that doesn't care about cricket. You're talking about a small hair off the porcupine's back, if you will. What about all the other sporting entities around the world? Come on. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening to us. We are not ranting for entertainment purposes. This is truly how we feel. This is passion. This is asinine. This is ridiculous. And it really has got, you thought I was fired up for the WTC. I can't believe this nonsense going on right now. In a lighter thing, go Team India, 2-0 right now. I love that. Every team right now, in my opinion, for the most part, almost every team has a chance still. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be a great end of the tournament. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what we missed about this nonsense. And please, maybe there's just some mental block we're having about a big piece of this puzzle. We're not seeing it. Please try to include that below. And any of the ICC members that are watching this, please do not chew gum and walk at the same time, please, okay? For the safety of the world. But with that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.